Q, turn that light off, please. Thank you.
Okay.
And please, I'm on live. Close it, and I'm on live. Close that cabinet. Thank you. Love you. Thank you.
So what I
Doing too
probably need
much.
is like something you logged into YouTube to see.
Hey
Oh,
guys.
hi guys. I know it's been since February, but welcome back to You Better Fact Check because I had wine first with me, your host Andrea, and my co-host this side,
Money.
Money. Um,
It's me,
I
guys.
remember we talked
Hi.
about being consistent,
We did.
and we didn't do that.
We did not.
So we're
We did
gonna
not.
like this second half of the year. We're gonna work on
Maybe.
consistency. We're gonna have some guests on our show,
Yeah, I love that.
and we're gonna try to be better. You know,
I
we're
hope
gonna
so.
like look right, be right.
We're
So,
trying. We're trying, guys. I mean, bear with us. I mean, this is real life. We
mhm,
have children. We're moms. Andrea's like a career woman. She's like, she does all the things. Me, I'm just a mom. But
but that's
bear
a huge thing.
it is. But at the end of the day, life be life in. And listen, we here now.
Right?
We here now. Okay. So thank y'all for tuning in. And we appreciate y'all bearing with us and, checking us out and hanging in here with us. But we definitely want to try to be more consistent for sure.
So today's topic, we've come back with something, I guess, pretty big, right?
Mm,
So today we're going to be discussing the writer's strike slash actor strike
mhm.
with our very special guest, CT,
Ooh,
comedian C.
CT, comedian CT.
Comedian C.
Man, I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm excited to have
You're
CT on the
excited?
show.
He's so
I
great,
am.
right?
He's a great guy. He's so nice. He's so humble because
Mm-hmm.
he's like a really like a genius comedian to me. Like
Mm-hmm.
he is just so funny, and and then like even in like outside of his stand up and things like that, he's a
Mm-hmm.
writer. Like he does so many other things behind the scenes. He has so many shows that he's created.
Oh gosh.
Not to mention he's a husband to our good friend Tangerine. Like he
Yes.
he does all the things.
He does
So I
all of it.
mean, I'm excited to have him on the show today. I can't wait until we get to pick his brain.
Yeah. So we can
But
start out before he comes and we can talk about a little of the facts. I did a little research so we can
mm-hmm.
pretend that this is a fact checking portion of the show.
Oh,
So let's talk about that before he comes in today. And this is all depending on whether I send him the StreamYard link right and all that jazz. Because I was so rushed, I have decided not to let my job take precedence over my life. So I just left. But I also did still leave late. But
mhm.
that's on me. I will get better.
Tell them people to stop keeping you.
Oh
That's
my
what we gonna
God.
talk
I was
about.
like, they were like, are you finna leave? Are we doing XYZ? I was like, I'm actually done for the day. I gotta
Tell
go
them to
hang out.
stop trying to like they don't. You doing too
I
much.
was
They
like,
doing too
I
much.
have a previous engagement. I'm gonna need for you guys to figure the rest of the day out.
I mean,
So
hopefully they'll be able to figure it out without you. I know it's
uh,
hard, but
the,
hopefully.
the hope is that they will be able to. And if they don't, then
Mm,
yeah. So today we're talking we're talking about the writer strike. So got your
yeah,
drink?
I did.
I got these new
Oh wait.
cups from Amazon when they had those Prime days. It was
Hmm.
amazing. Um, Fun times. So, just a little bit of like history and background, all of this. I really wanted to know like when the first writer strike was or actor strike, or when they started to really value the work that they put out because this is
Hmm.
a part of them, right? This is
Right.
like the essence of a human. This is nothing that AI can create. It can't create
Hmm.
the real feeling and emotion behind acting and behind writing. So I looked it
Right.
up and just a little rundown. This writer's strike started on April the 3rd, and then it was officially announced on April the 17th. That's the writer's strike.
Right.
Uh, the longest writer's strike was 153 days, 22 weeks of not
Wow.
working. right?
Wow.
Then right after that was the strike in, or a week less than that was the 1960 writer's strike, and 7 weeks less than that was the 2007-2008 writer's strike.
Mm.
And I realized that they're striking because they really do deserve more money. When I looked at the amount that people who write these shows, write these movies,
Mhm.
like showrunners, are making, like the top earners, it's $91,000 for your full creativity. People who do regular smegula jobs
Right.
make that type of money. The
Wow.
75th percentile makes $72,000.
But they're making like on this, meaning like these
Mhm.
people that are creating the writing or creating these shows or creating, these things, it's
Mhm.
like you said, this is their creativeness. This is coming from their inner being. But at the end of the day, it's like that's priceless, really. I mean,
Yeah,
and then you're like getting regular schmegula money for
right,
something that you really can't even put a price on. You understand what
right.
I'm saying? And on top of that, I feel like these companies that are high, you're making way more money,
Oh God, yeah.
way more money than this 91,000, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? You're
Right,
making way more money than that. So
right.
that's crazy. They're making 10 times that on this one creative's idea. And that's
Of
crazy.
course. Which is wild.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the average makes like $62,000. So I make
Mm-hmm.
more than someone who writes for their job, who may not have something to go to every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like they may not have a show they're involved in every day or every week or every month. And
Right.
the 25th, I guess the bottom 25th percentile is $38,000. Like
That's like
that
right.
is
That's right. That's like
below.
right below McDonald's money. Stop playing.
Yeah, like
Stop
for
playing.
talent, that's McDonald's money. You ain't
Managers
got to
at
do nothing
McDonald's
about your
probably make
fries.
more than that. Enough, guys. Like
Right.
this is why they're striking, and I
Yes.
understand. And
Right.
this is not the only reason, but this is a
Right.
good chunk of it. Like, come
Right. Right.
on,
Right.
guys. Wow,
So I'm
that's a
sure
lot.
they will tell us more about it. And then I
Yes.
looked up a few things about the actors strike, because they've now joined
Hmm.
forces in their strike. They joined at midnight on July 13th. This time, the first writer strike, the first actor strike was in 1952, to be exact.
Dang, in the 50s.
That lasted, let's see, how long the first writer strike lasted. No, the longest that they had, or the shortest that they had, was in 1980, and it was
Uh-huh.
1986, and it was 14 hours. So I guess in the
Right.
80s they really wanted their movies and things, so they wasn't about to let the strike be that long. And then in 1980 it was 3 months. Commercial
Hmm.
writer strike was actor strike was the longest strike. It was 6 months in 2000. So it was the
Hmm.
longest SAG strike in history, which is like crazy. 6 months. I'm like thinking back to 2000. Were there
Hmm.
commercials? Were people not doing
You like
commercials?
what's a commercial?
Were there commercials? Did I see any
I don't
Doritos
even know.
commercials or Super Bowl commercials or any of that foolishness? I'm wondering.
Uh-huh.
The actor strike in 1960 was 6 weeks, which was obviously paled in comparison to that same year's 21-week writer strike. I feel
Hmm.
like writers need additional help, right? Like even in the
Right.
music industry, you know this, that writers don't get paid what the artist gets paid. So I guess if you look at it like the same way, like
That's true.
music and movies, the
Hmm.
writer things aren't getting paid what the people who showcase the talent are getting paid. And the actors have joined the strike, I guess, in part because of this new
Hmm.
emerging AI, right? And
Right.
being able to maintain ownership of their like intellectual property and their face, really, like not being able to be used in perpetuity throughout,
Yeah.
history in a studio, because you did this movie once. Now they have your face in their catalog and
Yeah.
they can use your likeness anytime and not pay you like an
But
actor.
that
I'd be fine
that
after
needs to
like
be in the
5 years.
contracts now. Listen, y'all ain't using
Yeah.
my likeness.
So
No,
that's what they're
no.
using in that's what they're negotiating with in the strikes.
Hmm.
I think that I would be fine with them using like AI if I got paid exactly that to not even to not even show up, right?
Right.
Like if you paid me the same thing that you would pay me for using my AI,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm fine with that. Because now I'm not doing any work and you're paying me. And you know they ain't gonna do that shit.
Right.
Like you know it's not going down like that.
Right. But that's what they want to do.
What else you got? Uh-oh, hold on.
I'm sorry, that was me. I muted. I'm sorry, guys. It's my son. I'm a mom. I keep telling him.
Like we've told him before that our life exists outside of the show and while we're doing the show. So
it's happening.
It's happening. It's happening right now.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry, guys. I had to say something to my son. Come get this. Thank you. Thank you, son.
Thank you, son.
Ooh. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's just, they're not going to let you use your AI, and I as me. Like I use this AI. I got me with a whole script. My AI did this. Here you go. They're not, and then they're gonna pay me. No, I just think that I don't understand why they have to use the likeness of this actor. Mm-hmm. Like if you have all the things that you need with the AI, then use the AI. Fill it in. Fill all of the necessary boxes in for your AI to do the movie, and then you'll see just how much. No, thank you. Nobody's gonna be watching that AI talking about, and I love you. Ugh. Like, no, nobody's gonna be like, it's gonna be lame as hell. Like, come on. They really need to understand, like, people relate to other people. Just because I see an image, that is not gonna make me relate to this image, because the likeness of this actor, say like CT and Tangerine, they are actors. And it's like, if I know CT, I know his mannerism. I see like Tangerine and how she is and how she walks. If I see an AI version of them, it may look like them,
right?
But it's not gonna give that same persona or that same right. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't know what these people are doing. I don't feel as though the writers, the actors, any of these people should have to strike for this long. It should be something that should be, like, okay, we understand your concerns, we hear you, we respect you, because after all of these years, I mean, you guys been using actors and writers and all this stuff to get you to this point. Now you're like, oh, we got some technology, do away with all of that. Come on, guys. Like, it's crazy.
Like, who does that? Who does it? Really?
People that want money without having to put any money out.
Yep. You're absolutely right. I'm trying to think that maybe I didn't send him the link the right way, because he's never late for things. Ever late for things. He's like always early, and I keep clicking the guest thing, but my fear is that if I click out of this, it'll mess our whole show up. Like, I don't know how Tangerine checks to see if
if people are in and out. Oh yeah, but I thought you would just be able to see if they were there.
Yeah.
Let me see. I don't know if he's there. He would have let it be known if he was here. Are you there? Yeah, how are you there? But okay, so while we're waiting for that, I feel like we should still talk about, like, from February to now, like what's been going on. I mean, from February to now, I didn't really have a lot going on. Of course, Black History Month, y'all know that's my time, even though we're living in Black history. So pretty much every day is my time.
Right.
And it's just like, I haven't really done too much since February. March was cool. April, it's hot now. We're in summertime, hot. And I haven't really done too much. I mean, I'm, mom stuff, of course. That's always my life. So, and my son had a birthday. He's 12 now. He'll be getting surgery soon. Next month he has to have surgery. So it's like a lot of things that's happening and going on. We got a lot of doctor's appointments and stuff, but not too much, as far as me, nothing's been going on. What I did do since we last talked.
What did you do?
I went to Jamaica.
Did you? I did too.
I
I
know. Guys, we were in Jamaica
It
together, of course. We had an amazing time. We didn't even discuss this like on a live or, well, shoot, we're just coming back. So
Yeah, it's coming back. But also, we didn't
But-
discuss we were leaving in February, did we?
Oh, we didn't. We didn't say we were going to Jamaica back then. We knew, but we just didn't say it. We should have.
We were like, man.
But guys, we went and we had an amazing
We had a
time.
time. I almost died. It was a blast.
Oh God. Andrea almost died, guys. She just because she wanted to be adventurous and jump in water. Like I don't know. It just wasn't my thing. I was doing it. So she almost died from that because she took a current took her under, and somebody had to save her life, literally. And
It was awful. But I wouldn't change almost dying for anything in the world.
I mean, even though after that, because we had other things booked for like boat rides and things like that.
Right.
But after her near death experience, that was it. It was
No
like
more water experience.
No more
water things. We would
no more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, Jamaica's really beautiful. Like we had an amazing
Oh my
time.
God. It was the absolute best time.
I wish we could like pull up
guys.
pictures like right now, like, oh, look at this picture. Look
Hold
at
on,
this picture.
Mike. We have our special guests here. So I would like to introduce everyone to our coming special guest. I love him endlessly. He's so talented and handsome and funny. There is not enough good things that I can say about this man without it seeming like I'm trying to like steal him from my friend. He's amazing.
It's my turn. So this man is a genius, a comedic genius, a writing genius. Like, look at him. Look at him.
Y'all are amazing.
He's here.
Oh my God.
How are
Look
y'all?
at this man. Hi, TT. TT is dope, guys. He's here. He's right there.
Welcome in. Welcome in.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Oh my God.
I'm excited.
You said, was
Were
I?
you in-
Yes.
No, I'm wide awake.
You're so calm.
Yeah.
No, you normally have like such beautiful high energy, and right now you're like chill. It's super.
He's
sexy.
chilling.
No,
It's
I'm-
still early.
I'm going off of y'all. I'm like, I'm extremely grateful and honored to be here, and I'm excited to see y'all. And yeah, I'm just like, I didn't know y'all were already live. I'm like, all right, cool. 12:30. All right, cool. Here we go. Y'all been in here for 17 already.
No, so that's fine. We were in here so we could get started and apologize for not being here since February after we said we were going to be consistent. So we were just like starting the show up, talking, chatting with each other, filling people in on what we've been doing, which is kind of nothing other than
Y'all
Jamaica.
Jamaica trip though, and then y'all went skydiving.
And
Oh, we
we
went-
went skydiving in February of when did we go, Mike?
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
like 2022, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
February
nice.
2022. Yeah.
I wish I could
Nobody
really
told
know
me.
things.
I had no idea. I thought everything was in Jamaica. I didn't know y'all. What is it? Sky dove? It's probably sky dove.
It probably is.
We skydove. Yeah.
Sky dove.
We skydove. We did.
That's crazy. I mean, I'm terrified.
I
of
was
heights.
scared. I was terrified
Listen,
at
I'm terrified
skydiving.
of heights, and I thought I think I passed out a little. If you watch my video, I will never post it because my skin is like this.
Mm. I will never post mine because my mouth is like this wide. The wind was like never. I would never.
Now I want to see both videos. That's
Here's the
wild.
video.
My
Y'all-
mouth was like. Mm-mm.
So okay, so after you get, because of course the biggest fear is when you're about to jump, right? So when you make the jump, are you then calm? Like, are you good?
I think I passed out
Listen,
because I feel like there was like a second of blackness, and then I was like, okay.
for me, it was
Once
more or
you
less.
fall and they pull
It
the,
was.
they get the parachute. I'm fine.
Oh.
Then I was fine. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is a long way down. Let's just relax and take it in. Yeah.
It was for me. It was a little different because I was terrified already,
Mm.
and they wanted me to be the first one out of the plane, and I'm like, I'm the least one that should be first. So, but my guy was taking too long, I guess, and Andrea's guy was so eager. He's like, we'll just go. So Andrea actually ended up going first. But the crazy part about it was I saw her
Mhm.
jump out. So it was like she just fell and was gone. And I was like, what the hell is happening? She was just gone. And I was like, oh my God. That made me even more scared because I'm like, she just disappeared in front of my eyes. And
How
then it was
long?
my turn and I went, but I feel like I was just too heavy or something. Like I'm falling too fast. That's all. I was like, and the wind was ripping so fast that everything was happening. And then once he pulled the parachute, that's when it just was calm. It was like, it was so beautiful. You just see everything and it was just like silence. And I was like, oh, this is nice.
So 2 questions. The first question is, were you able to breathe easily before you pulled the parachute?
No.
No,
Okay.
it's like
The
the wind is
second-
like,
So they put the goggles on you
Yeah.
at first, and then when they pull it, they take them off of you. So I guess that's so it's not like so much. But
Yeah.
Uh,
even
That
though I
makes
had sunglasses on, goggles, and my eyes were still tearing up. So it was
the second is, when you're falling, how long were you guys in the air? Like, even after the parachute, like, how long was this?
Ooh, 10 minutes. It felt like forever.
It did feel like a long time. It
It was
did.
like, it's
And
slow.
the-
My
oof.
instructor was great. My instructor was horrible. Like he let me like guide the
He
thing.
was bad. He was so bad.
He was like, just
My
steer
guy
this
was
way.
borderline like sexually
Pervert.
harassing me. He
Yeah.
was a pervert.
What?
Yes. Yeah.
What did he do?
Well, when we were in the plane, he had to kind of like strap himself to me, like, you know,
Yeah.
because we have to do tandem jumps. So he had to strap himself to me. Now, everybody else, you know, their person is just sitting, you know, like behind them.
Hmm.
He tells me, sit on my lap. So I had to literally sit on his lap and he's like pulling and tugging this thing. Like, I mean, it was just so tight.
Oh, he trying to get the
And-
feels in.
Oh my goodness. And I was like, you know, I was a little bit uneasy, but I feel like it's like he has the upper hand because, baby, you can jump out of a plane. I'm scared as hell. I don't know what the hell. You see what I'm saying? So it was just like, and then he kept saying in my ear, I got you, baby. I got you, baby. He just kept saying it. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, I just felt like it was somebody's old uncle
Oh, that's
like
creepy.
molesting me or something. I was just like, it was bad, but
You know what's wild? That's a fear, not to that extent, because I don't think a guy would do that to me. But my fear, I don't want a man attached to me. You know what I'm saying? So I know they got to be all up on you. And I just feel
Yeah.
like I just don't want to feel no dude behind me, especially in that capacity for that long a time. And you're like, this is uncomfortable.
I don't think it
Like on
was,
the back of a motorcycle, you have to hug the guy.
yeah.
Fuck that. You know, it's funny. Naeem, my boy Naeem, used to have this joke about riding a motorcycle. He was like, look, man, you know, in a lot of movies, these dudes be getting on the back of the motorcycle and they got to hold on to the guy that's driving. He's like, if you ever see me on the back of a motorcycle and a dude is driving, we're escaping. Right. And even then, I'm going to be sitting there like I'm on a magic carpet.
It's just like,
That's one of my
trying not to
favorite
fall
jokes.
off.
Exactly. I'm not putting my arms around you, and I might actually turn around and face the danger
other
because I'm not doing it.
Wow.
Wow. That's
Wow.
crazy.
So CT's never jumping out of a plane, clearly.
No. And you know what's funny? I had a dream last night. It was a nightmare about we were going to, and when I say we, it was like a whole lot of people. We were on like this spaceship going to another planet just to see what life was like on this other planet, because all of this UFO talk we've been getting in the news over the past week. And I didn't know that they were strapping seatbelts. So the way that the dream begins is we're in this spaceship and it's kind of like an elevator, like it has to catch on to another track for an elevator. And that's where we're going. And I left my seat because I wasn't strapped in properly. And I was just so afraid that this spaceship was going to fall and I was going to crash. And it was so realistic, yo.
Wow.
So hell no, I'm not jumping out of no plane.
You should listen. I'm so afraid of heights.
Same.
And I don't know why. The whole trip was my idea, so I don't know why. I just decided to do it.
And I said to her, I said, you went too far too fast. Like, this is like, you just went straight skydive. You didn't say, let's zip line, let's do something.
Yeah, you didn't build up to, but you know
Straight-
what? I'll give you this. This is how much Monty loves you, because you know Monty's not about to just say yes, and she said yes to you for
That's
something
true.
like that. That's love, yo. She
Yes,
trusts you.
she loves me. She's
Yeah.
my dearest friend. If it was not for the pandemic, just think I would not have met one of my dearest friends.
Yeah.
Listen,
You and
that's true.
Tangerine for your discord,
Your
groups,
platforms,
Yeah.
entertainment, your whole platforms. You gave me so many friends,
Mhm.
and frenemies, because there's people that you like that I love to argue with.
Yeah.
But the people that I love, like I really genuinely care for y'all and your well-being.
Yeah.
Yo, I feel the same way. It's like if it
Yeah.
wasn't for that pandemic, that was the great thing to come out of that pandemic, because it was a
Mhm.
moment in time that nobody, even before us, could say that they've experienced,
Mm-hmm.
because we've never been locked down, and there was like life was not normal as we'd already had it, and nothing has been the same since. But it's just like that came out of it some amazing relationships and
Mhm.
bonds, and I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm so grateful. Actually, I actually met you first before Tangerine. So I was Team
Really,
PT. Yes.
I like that.
Everybody thinks that I met Tangerine, like I was on Tangerine's platform first. No, it was yours because you had your singing showcase show. And that was where I first saw you. And I was like, oh, well, I didn't click in. Someone clicked in and was like, you know how to sing. Here, you
Yeah.
click in. And that's how it all started. And one day I was just like, I'm going to try to sing for y'all.
You know what's
And
funny?
then
I
mhm.
thought about that when you say the singing showcase. It's so funny you say it. This morning, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, because I pitched it to a company that is trying to do like tours, and they were like, oh yeah, well, we have to see what the slate is. And I'm like, I already know what that shit is. So I think I want to do a live version here in LA and just like see how to do it live and then live stream it so people can watch it just like they would any other time. But like, I think I want to do that. I think the hardest part is just going to be finding 25 singers, and then I think everything else will be perfect. Like you get the pot of gold like we always do.
That's
But yeah,
not hard. Like the only thing that would be hard is that you just have to advertise it sooner. Like,
yeah.
this week we're doing, we having our live show. If you want to sign up a couple weeks ahead of time. So we already have our lineup for the next show.
But
We
this is
already got our
live.
25
Yes.
people.
This is
Well,
in
yeah, but
person.
I feel like that
yeah,
would
because
be
they're
easier
going to come
to
in.
be able to like do the timing better, because you're
Yeah.
not waiting for people to click back in.
Right.
I feel
Right.
like it would go very like cohesively.
I love
Maybe
this
have
idea though.
somebody do
I
a
was like, I
little,
want to try
set
it.
in between each
Yeah.
round.
Hmm.
It's definitely, because I think right then, like I saw it because BT is doing Gimme Five Live again next week. And or is it, I think it's the week after next. So it's gonna be a really great show. The turnout is gonna be crazy, I already know. And it's one of those venues where they have multiple mics. So I'm like, oh, that'd be great, because we have us maybe on the stage or sitting to the side, and then the performers come up and sing. And like you said, Andrea, we just get a chance to move way faster because we already have the singers there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
You've come up with some amazing shows. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, like, genuinely should be on network television. Well, not right now because you're on strike. But
that's what I'm saying. That brings us segue right into our topic about
segues into our topic of the writers' strike, the writers and actors' strike now. So let's get into the big one of how is that directly impacting you. I know how it looks to be impacting the industry, but how is it directly impacting you?
Well, right before the strike, because the writer strike was going on first, and I had just went in and talked to Bentley, and Bentley Kyle Evans is my guy. He's the reason I had been on TV for 8 seasons, for the last decade. And I was like, yo, man, I want to do these 3 television shows, these 3 scripted shows. And he's like, I like them. But the strike is going on. Hopefully it ends, soon. But he actually even gave me a date. He's like, we could start doing this show probably at the latest February, but earliest around the holidays. I'm like, oh, I'm down, because his slate was full.
Right.
Now the problem is, because the strike was joined by the actor strike, now that timeline is pushed even further. Like everything is pushed back. Like think about all your favorite shows. Usually we will be getting a new season by September, October. We're not going to get any new shows probably until next year this time, because everything is pushed back. It takes so long to do television and films. So I can't get a show sold. I can't audition to be on a show. Yeah, it's
That is crazy.
yeah.
So
Next, like
you,
it's
like,
backed
while
up
you're
that
having
far. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Andrea.
No, I was gonna ask, while you're having this unwanted downtime, are you building your catalog?
Oh
Are you,
yeah.
like,
So
stacking your-
oh my gosh, it's crazy. So originally when like I said, when I talked to Ben, I had 3 shows. We already had the decks for ready to go. And then over the past week, we created, and by we, I came over with the show, and then Tangerine built the deck. Like she's added that feather in her hat, being able to, I'm sorry, a deck is,
please.
yeah, I realized I'm talking inside baseball. So a pitch deck is when you have an idea for something, right? A television show, a movie, whatever. You have an idea for something, and you have to explain what this idea is to someone who could possibly green light it or invest in your idea or put it up on a network. So, for example, this show, you would say, all right, this is what my show is about. It is us both talking to different people about an array or an assortment of different topics, and we do this here, we do that there, and the show runs about this time, and it'll cost X amount of dollars for us to produce per episode, right? And then a network will say, oh, I like that idea. If you could, because they're always trying to get you to cut money. If you could cut your money by 5 or 10,000 from this budget, then you got a deal. And hopefully you've already inflated the number to prepare for them trying to cut your number. So you're already like, yeah, that's no problem. We're like, oh, it's so hard, but we found a way to cut that 5,000. So that's what a pitch deck is. It's just telling somebody about your idea and what every question that they would have would be answered within this. So even Martin, the TV show, had a pitch deck. It's like, oh, this is a show about love. This is about him and his girlfriend. They live together and his friends in these certain circumstances, and then bam. So we had already had 3, and then I created 2 more. So that added 5, and I have about 3 more to add. Actually, 2 more to add, because I want, 3, because her show, her other non-scripted show, and then there's another non-scripted show that I want to add. And so that's going to be stacked. We're already beyond ready for this strike to be over. And then personally, I'm just like, all right, now that I have this downtime, I can get even healthier. I can create even more content. And I just did the first episode of my podcast, Flower Sessions, as you guys saw when I would do on IG, where I would give love and props to people who have impacted my life in some way. And yesterday I filmed the first episode with my high school drama teacher that will be on my Patreon later tonight.
I'm a patron, so
I'm a patron.
Yeah. I'm excited.
We
It
are going to check that out.
That's amazing. I
Wow.
love when you do that, when you give people their flowers. It's like you're so genuine and like so sincere. And I'm like, look at him.
Yeah.
Look at him
Look
being
at him.
as big as he is. And he's like, let me recognize this person and this person, because I want you to know that somebody recognizes you.
Yo, and
Right.
you got to do it, because what I've learned, especially from you guys, like I remember, I can't even count on just one hand. There have been several times where you guys have sent me love or just given me some kind words, and you don't even know how I needed to hear it when you said it. And a lot of times we look at these shows, like a podcast specifically, like if you look at a Drink Champs or a Breakfast Club, and we're like, oh, who's the guest, right? We're like, oh, I like Mary J. Blige, so let me look at this episode. But
Right.
sometimes the people who have impacted you the most aren't someone who is worldwide famous. Sometimes it might be your grandma or your aunt or your uncle, and they deserve that thank you just as much as you would see Will Smith and say, "Hey man, I just want to say thanks for inspiring me." It's like, yeah, thanks, Will Smith, but also
Yeah.
my social studies teacher made
Teacher,
me
yes.
realize that I could, you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. So I gotta do it.
For me, for singing, it was more or less of I was in pre-K. I wasn't even in kindergarten yet, and I remember this. Pre-K, I was about 3, 4 years old, and a woman came to my class and sang "The Greatest Love of All," Whitney Houston song. She sang so well, I thought that it was Whitney. I didn't know who Whitney Houston was. I was 3.
Wow.
And I'm like, I thought it was her. So I'm arguing with my sister, like, this lady came to my school. She came, it was her. They looking at me like, ain't no Whitney Houston come to your school. I'm like, she did so. So that inspired me really. Until this day, when I got older, I saw this lady. She went to the same church that I went to. Come to find out, this lady's name is Debbie Allen. Oh my goodness, her voice is so beautiful still to this day. Yes, still to this day, beautiful voice. And I was just like, this is crazy. This is who inspired me to become a singer, and I didn't even realize it. It was just, it's amazing. So I definitely get that. Give people their flowers while you can.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I see so many comments on people's pages where this is actually something that I hate to see. I hate to see someone pass on and people take that moment to say, "Oh, you always made me feel like this," or "You always did this."
Yes.
And because when people are alive and healthy and well, we're the first people to say, "Oh, I ain't about to blow their head up," or "I ain't about to, say nothing to them. I'll tell them another time." And you don't know that might have been the last time that you had the chance to tell them. So it's definitely something that is freeing, and it makes you feel so good because you're getting that emotion out, and you're just like, gratitude. And that person gets a chance to maybe just hear something that they hadn't heard.
Right. That's true.
That's wonderful. Everything he says is always like so beautifully spoken. He's like, I have a pretend script.
Man,
People in the world. He just does a great
he's
job.
such a
That is so sweet.
such a
You're
genuine
hilarious.
soul. Like his
People
spirit
think
and his
he's
soul
so
is just
well
so genuine. It really is.
Y'all are the best,
Right.
man. I'm so
It's
glad
true.
that y'all wanted me on. This is so dope, man. I had no idea y'all were thriving like this. And this is the return episode, and I'm glad to be a part of this.
Yes.
Hey.
You are our first back in the
Our
house.
first guest, really, because we've never had
Perfect.
really other special
Oh my
guests
gosh,
on.
we've never had a guest.
Really?
We haven't.
Like I've had like relatives on just my audio,
Mhm.
but I've never had a guest on.
Yo, how about that? First
You're
guest.
our first
I
guest.
feel incredible.
Our inaugural guest.
That's incredible, yo. Yo.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm glad it's you because, like, I mean, what better person, you know? Like,
Look at him carrying the show for us. Here.
clearly.
First 10, 15 minutes, he asked us questions. I was like, this is great. This is wonderful.
Because you ever just watch a show, and like a lot of times when I'm watching a show, like I'll watch one of my favorite podcasts, the R&B Money podcast, right? Monty, you
so
got to start
funny.
watching. You're R&B artist. You have to.
Okay.
Andrea, you already know. So when they come on the show, these guests, they never ask the host anything. And you're like, yeah, I get that you're a guest, but you don't want to know nothing? You just
Right.
want to be interviewed? I have so many questions for Jay Valentine and Tank. Like, yo, how did this get started? But,
My favorite
That's
episode
true.
was when Jamie Foxx was on.
yo.
It was so funny. Oh my god.
Jamie
I
Foxx
don't
is hilarious.
I don't like cocaine. I just like the smell of it.
Fox,
Definitely a medical.
The Whispers.
Mhm.
I just
I
saw
like John
one.
B. Because I thought he
John B was good. Wait, did you watch he was with Halle Berry.
Eric Benet.
Eric Benet.
Oh, Eric. Okay.
Eric Benet and Ryan Toby is the one I just saw. And now I'm gonna watch the Jodeci episode that just dropped.
Okay.
Oh, nice. I gotta definitely get over there.
You have to.
Yeah.
It's the authority in R&B. It's
good stuff, money. You got to start watching podcasts.
I will. I'm gonna check it out.
whew, so good because like for you, okay, that's perfect. So you just told me about how you even got intrigued in singing, right?
Mhm.
How did you get into baking? What was like, did somebody make you something, or was it just one day you were like, I'm gonna try
No,
something?
it was my grandma. Like I baked and cooked my entire life and loved it. Like, okay, this is this is probably the penultimate moment when I was like, I'm better than they are. I want to do this for real. So, we were
I'm better.
We were kids. We were probably all 10. My cousins are about a year older than me, year and a half older than me. And we were baking with my grandma.
Mhm.
We're all baking cakes. Tiffany and look at me diamond them out. Tiffany and Wiggy had a bowl of batter and they dropped it.
Mm.
And my grandma was like, you failed. You fired. Get out of my kitchen. And in my head, then I was like, oh, we're being graded on this? So
Baby, I know how to get A's.
I can continue to bake with her all the time. Whenever she needed like help, whatever she wanted, I was there like over her shoulder. And for the longest, my aunts would, after my grandma passed, ask me to make her dough. Like my Aunt Vicky would come from Florida and I would make dough for her and put it in a little freezer with ice for her to take back to Florida to use. And I was like, I'm really good at this.
You're the one.
Yeah.
And now look, you have a baking empire. Look at you.
You are, what you just told me from that story is, one, you are competitive, which is great and hilarious. But yo, that's really, so, okay, what was your first thing that you made there and you tasted it and was like, oh, this is fine? Cornbread?
Yes. Like as a little girl making like real cornbread.
Yeah.
Nice.
But like not out of a box. I'd never had seen people use cornbread out of a box until I was like a grown up. Yeah, I was like,
what's that?
That pie tastes like this shit. Yeah, like wild.
Andrea, I've had so much food Andrea cooked.
My like first cake that I made was a caramel cake.
Oh, I like that.
Like old school, like standing stirring the caramel so it doesn't get granules in it, and then it's a smooth caramel. That was my first cake, and I was like, super talented.
You are for sure.
It was mostly savory foods. I can do any Southern item that you can ask about. And then I went to culinary school and learned how to do all of the fancy stuff that people can't pronounce, and all the classic ways to cook eggs and how to make croissants, and just learn how to do everything. How to make layers, how to make a meat pat a shoe.
Let me tell you something. First of all, props to both of y'all. But these stories, this is why you ask people questions, because that just blew my mind. So I'm gonna take it in order. So Monty, with singing, right? Like I was listening to So Beautiful last night by Music. And I was like, man, this is such a great song. Like for him to do an entire song in falsetto. And then for you to tell me about this woman inspiring you to sing, but not only inspiring you, because you still have to have the gift. Like people can inspire you all day, but if you don't have the gift innately inside of you, it's like, oh, well, good for you for having the dream, but you're trash, right? But for you,
I didn't have the gift until I was 13. I didn't realize I had a gift until I was 13.
I gotta get back to that. Hold tight, because I'm gonna lose my point. So for you to see it and be like, bam, and then act on it. And Andrea, it's like the cooking. First of all, we all know several women and men that know how to throw down in the kitchen and watch their mom or grandma or aunt or somebody cook, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm good. But for you to take what you already knew and then go learn what they teach, just to have that credential, so you have the best of both worlds. It's like, yo, I could cook anything you want or desire. Nobody does that. That's incredible. It's like one or the other. It's like, yo, I know how to cook in the hood, or I am a real chef, but they don't know how to make the food that we like. You know how to do everything.
Yes.
Everything.
I love it too. And I love
everything.
I love that food makes people happy. I remember doing my final project in culinary school, and I picked Spain as my country. I did paella, I did like whole roasted pork, I did flan, like I did all these traditional things, and you had to like do a whole speech of why food was important. And it really resonated with me how governments have meals before they have these big diplomatic meetings. Like they have big banquets to like relax people and make you happy. Food makes me happy. I mean, I'm fat, so food makes me happy.
You are not fat, but that's hilarious.
I'm the fat one.
And that's welcoming to anyone for you to make them a meal.
Yeah. Damn. Okay. Give it to me, Monty. How did it take what is that, 7 years? No, it's almost 10 years, because you said
yeah,
13 and you were
yeah.
3 or 4. So how did
I
you?
was because I wasn't really in singing. I did a
Mhm,
lot of music, meaning like instrumental music. I wasn't
mhm,
really in singing, and no one ever told me that you can hone this craft, this
mhm,
singing thing. I just, like I said, I saw this woman. I was like, oh my God, I'm inspired. I want to do this. But at 3 and 4, it's like whatever. But then I was in instrumental music. I had to go to classes for that.
mhm,
No one ever paid attention to my singing voice until I was in middle school, and they had like Freedom Theater there. So
mm,
I ended up joining Freedom Theater, and we did like stage plays. And of course, they had me, like, when they realized, like, oh my goodness, you have a voice on you. I was still a little like, huh? Like, I didn't even really understand it all. And they were like, look, if you can sing, we got songs we want you to sing. You want to try this? And I just started, that was like, I opened my mouth and never shut up from that day, because it was like, and they wanted me to do like the special scenes in the plays and all of
mhm,
that stuff, all the singing stuff. And that was when I really realized, like, oh my God, I have a actual talent for this. I didn't realize that it was, you know. And then that was when I started just listening to singers and trying to, that's when I started working on the craft of singing
mm.
at 13. But
Can
I
you
didn't know it was a
imagine?
talent until then.
Could you
Yeah.
imagine if in both of you guys' stories, I'm thinking about, in a separate universe, the one thing not happening, right? Like for you, Monty, it was more complex than the singer that we originally thought. If
Right.
if those few people hadn't pulled you to the side to get you into learning your voice and honing it and being like, whoa, you have something there, you never would have known that you had something. If
Probably
people
not.
wouldn't have said, wow, you have a voice, you never would have known. Andrea, if your grandmother would have let your siblings stay, you possibly could not be doing this right now. If she let them stay after they dropped the bowl,
Mm-hmm.
every one of these things happens for a reason. That's incredible.
Like I
One
grew up
small
with,
detail.
if I grown up with my mom, I would not know how to cook. My mom is not a cook. I grew up with my grandmother, so I was with her every day. For all intents and purposes, everybody thought that was my mama, and I was like, how do they think this old lady had this baby? But whatever.
What do they think this old lady has, baby?
So, because she had already had one of those surprise babies, like her oldest is old enough to be her mama.
Mm,
So
This was a kid Andrea
the
made
oldest
for
daughter
me.
is old enough to be the youngest daughter is
the
oh yeah,
presentation.
yeah.
Andrea made that cake for me when
What
I
kind of
came
cake
to
is it?
visit her.
That
It's
is
a fruit.
a strawberry peach sensation. It's filled with strawberries and peaches and Bavarian cream in each layer, and it's almond layers, like coated with almonds on the outside, fresh fruit on top. Yeah,
It was
strawberry
delicious. I just
Why don't you have a food page where you're just like that? Listen,
well, that thing was
listen.
delicious,
Look at that
honey.
presentation. That looks like a Googled picture of a cake. That's
Yes,
you should have a
it was
separate food
amazing.
page, or just use your
Look at
page
that.
and
Right.
That was
post
amazing.
this.
I've had more
I
stuff
do have
like
a separate cupcake page, but obviously I'm not consistent. But like people, there's something wrong with me. I just am like, I want to hold all the plates in the air. I'm like the court jester, and I'm like spinning the plates on the sticks. Can you see it? That's me.
Andrea,
I'm
you got
never
a lot of
dropping
stuff.
them, but
Yeah.
I'm also not paying attention to any of them. Yeah, that.
Yeah. You're like,
The
they're
good
there,
thing-
they're spinning. That's her.
They're
They're
spinning.
spinning. I don't have to pay attention.
They're
But
spinning.
yeah.
But that's the look. If your only problem is consistency, that's a good problem to have, because it's better than the alternative, whereas the food is trash or the presentation is trash and you got everything else going. Like there's a chef, I won't say his name because he's been in the stream before. Well, I can't, but he's been in the stream before. And he would send me pictures of his food. He was like, hey man, I'm catering, and he was asking me how to basically grow as a caterer. And he's like, can I send you some food? I'm like, that wouldn't really help you, because you got to remember this. If somebody sends you some food, right? And they send you the food and all they want you to do is tell people, hey, this person cooked this food for me. What's going to happen is people are going to see your product. Like they'll listen to somebody who showed them to a certain extent. They'll be like, oh wow, you got this from that person, I'm gonna go. But once they go, the presentation has to be there, or else they're gonna be like, maybe this is not my thing. And his pictures of his food never looked great. It just looked like something
like your dinner plate.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, with no pizzazz. But what Monty just showed of the cake that you made from different angles, by the way, it was like, yo, cut into and before it was cut. This picture looks incredible. It's like you would be hired by everybody if this is shown. It's like, oh, I want that cake, because people only go off of what they see. So they're like, oh, I want that cake. Can you do that cake? Well, that cake's gonna cost you this. And it was like, I'll do it. It's just that easy. But if the cake didn't look like that, even if it tasted amazing, people can't taste a picture. So
that's true.
Yo,
it's all about the presentation.
Problem, just start posting. As soon as you make anything.
I do beautiful character cakes as well. Like nobody knows that I do. Yeah, like I do like SpongeBob, and Shopkins was one I used to do a lot for little girls. I did a huge sorting hat and did 5 different flavors of cake in it. Yeah, it was so big. Like just
she does wedding cake. She does all the things. I saw a wedding cake she did too.
Do you understand? You don't even know. You're sitting. Let's take the catering aspect out of it. Let's take you having to go do events outside of being a full-time mom and having your career. Do you understand? Food is universally loved. Yes. Do you know how much money people make? There's a show on Netflix called Is It Cake?
I watch it all the time. I'm like,
what you're describing is that a hat with 5 different layers, character cakes, you do sponge.
And not to mention they're delicious as well, because like some people don't have both aspects. Like it looks good and tastes good. This is like the whole package. I've been trying to tell her, CT, from day one. Like,
use box cakes when they make these cakes that you go to these companies and you pay so much money for them. I use all of my grandmother's recipes. I do all my cakes from scratch. That's why it be taking me so long, because I'm not mixing just a box of cake with some egg or some water. I am weighing out everything. layers, layers.
Your cookies that you made me, the peanut butter cookies, ooh, it was like an orgasm every bite. I was like, I shouldn't be coming after every time I bite into this cookie. Woo, warmed them up. Just taking them room tip, whatever. They are so that makes sense.
Didn't you make the cake for Zoe's birthday one year? Whose birthday was that?
Most years. This was the first year I didn't make the cake for Zoe.
So it was like a black and white cake. And matter of fact, I can just show you.
Wow. And here's the problem. The problem is Monty got all the pictures of the cakes that you have made, and the internet doesn't have them. That's the problem.
Listen, she's the best friend in the world. I
have all the
her
pictures.
And she's looking and she knows I don't take pictures, and that I'm like, I'm always in the moment.
Yeah.
And my mom
I'm like, take a picture of it and send it to me every time. Every time I tell her, I'm like, take a picture.
You need to have a cake page, yo. We'll just make it overall. You said you got the cupcake page. This is the same page. Don't create anything new. Just keep posting on that page. Post a picture a day. And just why not? And if you go into this is what you could do too.
That's right.
Set your phone up on like a little. This is how easy it is. Break it down all the way, just like I did a pitch deck. Go onto Amazon, order you a $20 tripod for your phone, right? Set your phone up. Go to video. Go to time lapse on your video. And record yourself in the process of making a cake, right? The video is going to come out to, even if it takes you hours, the video is going to come out to like 2 minutes because it's time lapse, right?
Okay.
And you make the post. Bam, this is how I made the cake, and then post a picture of the finished product. This is the cake. Presentation, bam.
I got the tripod that my phone is on right in front of me.
See? You already there. Just set aside the time, because both of y'all have children that aren't kids anymore. So y'all have more time to be able to be free.
Yes. Well, Zoe, they all have like Saturday, my day to bake things. But this Saturday they have auditions. And I was like, if y'all want to still be doing movies, how is there an audition? But we going.
We gonna go. They looking for new people's likeness to fill. That's all.
I was like, I don't know how they're still doing an audition, but we going. And then I'm going to that thing.
The fashion joint.
The red carpet for the magazine.
Nice.
Nice.
And you better post that picture.
She's definitely doing networking, but we just got to get consistent on the actual stuff.
Yeah.
So
it's worth it.
I'm pushing her. I'm pushing her.
Trying to be consistent with everything, but like you said, I feel like I'm trying to do too many things at once, but I also feel like I should be doing them all at once.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. It's like, Imani, we don't think you off the hook, because if she's gonna be posting these pictures and she's gonna be doing these videos and posting all of this stuff, you need to post you singing at least twice a week.
Oh my gosh, that is excessive.
It ain't even gotta be long. It could be you singing the chorus of your favorite song for 20 seconds or 30 seconds and just post it.
The last time I probably posted was probably 2012. No, it's like, I don't know. Like, I couldn't even tell you. Like, it's been a while, so I don't know. So I'm trying to
your voice. If you were able to,
how about I just record my voice and just send it to you?
That's not you posting. You gotta post it. People hear that voice and just go all out. Like, because you do it so effortlessly. It is.
Oh,
she sings when we're on the phone, because when we talk to each other, we could have been consistent and done a podcast every day, because we talk about 6 hours a day. So we're doing at least an audio podcast. And she'll sometimes have like dead time when I'm doing something or she's doing something, she'll be singing. And I'm like, I can't even stand her. Her voice is so beautiful. And
so beautiful.
I'm the only person who hears it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's in the moment. It's not like, it's not forced anymore. I've been singing for a long time. So it's like, it's not something that I feel like I'm, working toward or reaching. It's not like I'm looking for anything from it. It's a talent that I have, and
But look at it like this: if you said it was forced for a very long time. That was other people forcing you. Mm-hmm. Now you're from under their grasp. Now you're free. You're literally getting the chance to be your own songbird. Fly when you want.
But that's the thing. I've always felt like I do better in groups, because I was always in a group. So so I don't know if I even feel comfortable doing it alone or singing. And I know it sounds crazy, but
no, I get it.
At the end of the day, it's like, I'm not used to that. I've never, just been out there up front. And even when I was in a group, I was out front and I just wanted to be in the back. So
I just want to play.
Like, let me just be back here. Y'all good. Y'all got it.
Do you sing?
And that's why now I think I want to, the only goal I feel like I would be reaching toward would be like singing background for like somebody like Jasmine Sullivan or Anaya Lamise, even Leandria Johnson. Like, these type of people are the ones that I want to sing background for. So if any of y'all hear me, y'all come across this podcast, listen, hit me up. Y'all want to tour?
Listen, Monty. It's something as simple as, because this is what you do to change the matrix of it. If I were you and I had that voice, if I were you and I had that voice, I would be posting 2 videos a week of just me singing a chorus of a Jasmine Sullivan song, or the other people that you mentioned singing some of their songs. And then I would, in the caption, say, I just want to sing backup, #backup singer. Right. Because what this does is gains you more attention, because they're going to say, you don't need to be in the back, you need to be in the front, all of that.
Right.
But the right people would see it, or they would send it to the right people, whoever saw it, and bam, you got your goal accomplished. But no matter what, you got to put yourself out there, because unless you're going to be able to reach out to them now without posting a video, it's just a dream. That's
true. Yeah. That's a goal. I'm taking heed. I'm listening, because I know you're the guy. So I know
So your voice is so dope.
Thank you so much, CC. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And you hear so many people, like, because I know how much in love with R&B you are. So it's like I know you listen to a lot of people, and you hear different things than normal people hear. So
Yeah.
I that means so much, coming from you to know
Because
that.
you ever listen to
Okay.
singers, y'all ever listen to singers and you're like, you could tell the difference between a genuine gift and
Mhm.
someone who's worked at it, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
people who've worked at it, you'd be like, oh, I'm gonna give you props for working at it.
Right.
But this naturally gifted person over here,
Right.
like who's really a naturally gifted person? I'll use just because his name's at the top of my list. Usher doesn't write a lot of his own songs. Like that's just a gifted voice.
Mhm.
But you look at and Ari Lennox and you're like, oh, she's so good and she can write. This is great. But
Right.
there's some singers out there, Ray J.
Mhm.
Ray J is just write the song for me. I mean, he's not
Right.
going
Right.
his vocals ain't gonna do it for you, but he's worked hard enough for you to be like, all right, I hear you working. You're
Right.
trying on some of those earlier joints. I don't know what his voice is now, but
Fresh.
that'd be the difference.
I don't
God
know, because I
given.
feel like
At least.
Ray J has a different type of. I don't know. It's
It
like he
used to
just
be something though in the early
right.
2000s,
Like he
it
was really
something.
talented at one point, but then lately, I don't know. So he may have
Mm-mm.
lost it.
But Brandy, on the other hand,
Oh my God.
But a lot of people
You can
told me
believe that?
that Ray J used to teach, like him and Brandy used to go back and forth, like certain runs and stuff that he was showing her how to do.
impossible.
So
I want to
don't
see
know.
tapes.
I don't know.
Impossible for a plain yellow pumpkin to become a golden kid.
This girl, impossible.
Exactly. She don't get to that by come on. No, I got to see proof.
I don't know.
before-
They just listen. I don't know. Like I said, because my brother, I feel like that same way with my brother.
Mhm.
He's in a singing group. He's like an R&B group called Status. And I remember when we were coming to like years ago, he could always sing, but he would be running. And I used to be like, boy, calm down. What you
So
running a
much running.
marathon? Like, what are you? What you running a marathon? Chill out. Like, what are you doing all of that? Like, you don't have to do. And I feel like little things like that, just little gems like that, it kind of, oh, you right, So now, I mean, this boy is a beast. I'll be looking at him like,
All they
he
be
like,
needing is
please.
hits.
She
They
says
just need
that,
hits.
but they have a track that they're on together that I listen
Uh-huh.
to every day. And it is insane.
Yeah, I do. He wanted me to sing for his he has a mixtape out and he
Mhm.
wanted me to do a couple of things. I'm always in the studio with them, it's not like I'm just not singing at all. It's like I'm there, and if they need
No, I
help,
never
I'm helping with
doubted you singing.
background.
I'm saying that you are doubting your ability with
Mhm.
posting this stuff. I know you be in the lab. The world needs
Yeah.
to see it.
Yes.
Okay.
That
The
internet is
world.
powerful. You can go from here to Africa with the click of a button
That part.
easily. It's not like
Beautiful.
10 years ago where it's like you still are relying on someone to push your music through or push anything that you do through. You got to go through a company. Now you go straight to the people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She was
I've been
doing
in.
the,
I've
like,
been in them.
keys of re-recording for me, like the songs on my EP. She's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I could, we could get together in the studio." Her brother and them, and I could re-record those songs. And I was like, "Oh, do that." She sounds so amazing singing my songs.
Wow.
Love it.
Andrea's like, I should have just wrote these for you.
Yo, hey, that songwriting bone. Woo!
Yeah. Okay.
That's- people who write songs are a different level of talent. That is, oh my God. To write a song. Okay, this white dude, his name is, damn it, Christian Kane. He was on a show called Leverage, right? He's on several other shows.
Oh, I know
beforehand.
him. I know he's
Yeah.
talking about Christian Kane, the white boy. Okay.
He wrote a song that did not pop by any means, right? He wrote a song, didn't pop. He was singing it. And another country artist sang the song, like basically took the song that he wrote
Mhm.
sang it, made it a #1 hit.
Mm.
And it's the
Money, you hear
exact
that?
same song.
Kind of like Dolly Parton and Whitney Houston.
Oh yes.
Great example. Dolly
Mhm.
Parton, I was like, here's the thing. When I heard Dolly Parton wrote it, I was like, what?
What? That's Whitney.
What? That's Whitney. Man, that's how much justice Whitney
Mhm.
did. But shout out to Dolly for not having an ego and saying, no, I don't know. She can't sing my song. And it's like,
Yeah,
you'd have missed
'cause
out
that
on a lot of
happens.
money.
That happens a lot. Trust me, that happens a lot. More than that.
Why?
CT's getting his water. Let me get my
Stay
water.
hydrated.
You got to give me another bottle. It was
First off, it's
crazy.
1,000 degrees outside. We have to stay hydrated.
How hot is it down there for you?
Being on the podcast and my face was so red, I was like, good God, all I did was drive 10 minutes. With the air conditioning on, and I was like, my face was on, my whole, I set it up, and I was like, damn, I was like, oh, I gotta.
Good God, I was
Hey,
only dropping for 10 minutes.
That was
Your
it.
country accent is hilarious.
So what's the weather there, Andrea?
Yeah.
This is currently 98 degrees, like the band.
Let me see what we got going on over here.
What y'all got?
Let's see what they're talking about. It is currently 95 degrees.
Yikes. See, that's how,
Damn.
you know what I hate? Let me look and see what the feels like is, because stop saying what it feels like and just say that's the temperature.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I hate that.
It's 91 here, but they said it feels like 105. That's what they said.
What?
That's
So
and it's gonna be
yeah.
100. It's gonna be 100 today, 99 tomorrow, 102 on Saturday, 101 on Sunday,
Oh,
and then 90s
that's
all the way for the next week, and then 100 next Saturday.
Oh no, we
Come
going
on,
to
man.
80s next week. Ooh.
crazy.
Ooh.
Y'all are lucky.
We're
We
not
going
80
in
and nothing.
80s.
Everything says 90. The lowest we got is 95. And even our lowest temperature, like our nighttime, the lowest is 75. That's hot.
Tomorrow
Like,
is
some places
95,
it's
but
cool at night.
we talking about we waiting on next week in the 80s. We ain't talking about no more this week. Next week.
You know, oh, our feels like is 101. Plus the humidity that how is it still humid? And it's 100 degrees.
She's like, how's it still humid? What is this, Andrea?
Come on.
But
like,
I
this
mean,
is-
hey, we asked for it and all went along. I know out here they like it's still cold, Whitney.
I didn't ask for it. These motherfuckers are killing me out here.
I hate being hot. Like, here's the thing. So
I
when
hate
I would
being
go
cold.
on walks, anytime you go out for a walk in this sun, if you're wearing like a tank top, I would probably wear this only because it'll give you the farmer's tan.
Right.
But I hate the look of when I have a tank top on and I go outside and I come back in and you take the tank top off and it's like, come on, man.
Not the natural white people.
You're like, come on, man.
Oh,
Because women like tan lines, but I don't like tan. It just looks weird as a guy with tan lines.
I can't stand it. Like if
I don't.
I hate wearing flip flops anyway. But when I go out to the garden and I have on my flip flops and I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna be out here this long, and I come back in and Zoe's like, oh, Mama, your feet are white, and it's like a white triangle on my.
Like,
I hate
yeah,
it.
no, my feet never get tan. They just stay the same white color they are.
I'm staying in until I gotta go support that person. Okay, well, tomorrow I think I can go out at night. It's better to do stuff that if you want to exercise, nighttime is probably best in the summertime, unless you
Early
don't
morning.
have the time. Early morning, but you got to get it before the sun hit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I can't
Yes.
commit
You
to
be
it.
asleep. I'll be up.
Like,
I'm
no,
five,
no, sir. No, sir.
5:30. I'm like, yeah, get this
Well,
workout.
I'm up, but I'm like already out. Like my day is started. I'm at work at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock.
In the
So-
morning?
She's a baker. Yes, you got to get up and bake that bread. What you
What are
mean?
you
Bake some
literally? What is your hours?
Let's see. Today I went in at 4 and I got off like right at 2. And I was supposed to get off before that. And I was like, hey, yo, listen, I'm leaving right this second. I can't help y'all anymore. You're here to 5. You're doing this. Sometimes they act like they can't work without me there.
Yep.
And that's just plain being,
It's
you know,
true.
it's being lazy.
Every day.
It's being
It is every day. So I go in at 5. Sometimes I stay 5 to 5. On
That's
Sundays,
too
I work
much.
5 to 5.
What time do you
Too
go to
much.
sleep on an average? Like every day, like during the week, what time do you go to sleep?
11:30
You
p.m.
pushing it.
I'm pushing it.
You pushing it.
Sometimes I don't go to sleep. Like if
She
I
don't.
get to that, like I'm doing things with my children, and because it's summertime, they trick me and they're still up, and I look and it's 1:30, and I'm like, well, now I can't go to sleep because I have to be up for work at 3 o'clock to get ready for
Yeah.
work.
So you would rather okay, so let me get this straight and tell
I'm
me
not
how
a
this works for
napper.
you.
I cannot nap.
You would rather not go to sleep at 1 if it's like, oh damn, it's 1:30 and work straight through your shift.
Mhm.
Will you come home and go to sleep?
No.
So you do the
Mhm.
entire thing again and you try to go to sleep at your regular time.
Yes.
Wow.
When she's a parent, so you know when you have children, it's you never know what's gonna happen. Like you can't just be like,
Like,
I'm going
not
home, I'm
unless I
going to
am
sleep, I'm
busy.
gonna eat my food and go to bed. It's always something. So.
Yeah.
But Andrea does not. I know I don't sleep, but because she has to do so much like me, I'm not doing anything. I could sleep whenever, but she just never sometimes sleep. And then there are times where we'll be on the phone and I'm like, Andrea, just go to bed. Like, it's getting late. Like, shouldn't you, like, oh, come on, just lay down. Get it, lay down. So it's just,
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We can talk until you get tired.
It's fine. It's fine. How do you rest?
I don't.
honestly, sometimes I literally have to talk her to sleep because I'll be like, she'll fall asleep and I'll be like, good. I'll have to kind of gently hang up. That's how it is because
Yo.
I'll be like, she would never go to sleep. And if I be like, you sleep, she'll wake up and then be like, nah, I ain't sleep. So I just gently hang up and just let her sleep.
But
You
I'm
know why
like,
you
"Oh,
have
I'm
to
gonna
try?
sleep on somebody. I'm crazy. I'm like, oh, I'll just stay up until she's like tired. When
You
if she
gotta
ever says
sleep.
the sleep train is coming, then I go, oh, okay, well, good night.
Yeah, because I'll be like, I'm about to jump on this sleep train, baby. I feel it. It's coming. This train is on the way. I'm jumping on it.
Yo, here's the thing. So, because there have been so much moving around over this past month, I think Friday will be the first day where I don't have to wake up early. I mean, no, Friday's the first thing, and I don't have a lot of stuff to do on my agenda. So I'll be able to get up earlier, which means I could probably go to sleep at a decent time tonight. With that, you need rest. Like you need a regular rest because you have so much to do. You have to find time to go to sleep. She's like,
People
nah,
always like, how do
I
you
ain't doing
do
that.
all the stuff that you do? There's not enough hours in the day. And I said, I just use them all. I use the whole 24.
Just use the whole 24. It's not
If no
easy.
one's going to make the day longer, I'm just going to use all of the hours.
It's
I
true.
can't imagine.
Because you're not a mom.
That's true. That is a fact.
It's so weird because I didn't really get that
And you also
extra
are not a
endurance
crazy
strength of being up until I had a kid.
Mm.
That's when I realized that it happened.
Now, what
'Cause
about
my
you
daughter-
got 2 kids? How old are your
Yeah.
kids?
Well, my daughter will be 18, which is who got an
Congrats.
18-year-old, and my son just turned 12 last week. Yeah.
12 is not bad, but it's also a boy, so that's better than a girl being 12. And how old are your kids, Andrea?
I don't know.
Zoe just turned 14.
Nice.
He'll be 12 next month. And like coming right up in August. He's a
Mhm.
Leo. And Collins will be 10 in October.
Oh, great. So yeah, y'all don't have babies.
Oh no,
That's
no.
great.
No babies.
But it's like
No baby.
I feel like 10, 12, and 14.
You think that, CT? I know what you're thinking. You're like they're old enough
They're
to be
not
able to do things.
self-sufficient.
Mm-mm.
They're all
They're just old enough to be able to talk back and tell you what it is that you not or what you should or what they want to do.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Now, a smaller child, I think it's easy because it's like this 2-year-old. All right, you get tired after a while, get in bed and sleep.
Mhm.
These other kids, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, they still up. So it's not like that.
Damn.
Like I could like mommy dearest and strap him to the bed, but
Listen,
I just like don't even have the spirit to do it. I'm like, God, fine.
I don't do none of that.
Go
I'm
to
just
sleep
like,
in class.
whatever.
I remember, I think if I can think about from 12. Yeah, from 12. So when my mom got us the house that I finished growing up in, so I lived there from 12 to 21. When she got that house, bedtime was just a suggestion. It was because it was like, hey, you got school tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? You don't be sleepy in school, but that's you doing your thing. I just expect a certain grade level. So I would push it to maybe anywhere between 11 and midnight would be like the latest as a kid until summertime. Then you think 12:30 is late at summertime, but you go to bed right on time. So as a kid is different. But y'all got to get to sleep. I'm not telling y'all to stay up with them. I'm saying y'all need rest.
Oh my gosh, seriously. That's what it was like. They're big. Go to bed.
It's hard to sleep when you have kids. Like, yeah, that's the thing. You can't sleep when kids are up. It's so weird. It's like, what y'all in there doing? Hold on. Like,
I've gone to sleep and I've gotten up for work and it's been 3 o'clock and they're all awake. And I'm like, why are y'all awake? We stayed up all night.
CT keep going. CT is like lost only because he's thinking about children as if they were us.
Yeah.
Oh no, these the new kids. These the new kids. They don't do anything like how we did.
Young, like we had jobs. Like we had a bedtime. We went to sleep. We got up on our own. I don't remember setting an alarm until after I had children because then I was so tired from like dealing with babies. But I never set an alarm for anything. I got up and started my day. I was like a little old person.
Yeah, now
4 a.m.
Children change you.
Getting home, you're doing 10-hour shifts.
She's the big boss. Of course, she's doing those hours. She's the big boss. Yeah,
I respect it. Y'all are really powerful with this.
But listen, I talked to my store manager and I told her, I was like, I thought that I was vested in this and wanting to do it for the rest of my life, right? I'm gonna do it for as long as I can to like fuel my passion. Because I've like seriously started writing lately. Well, actually last August. I say lately because August isn't a long time to write like a book and then change it into a screenplay. So I've been seriously writing. And I was like, I've read it several times, haven't let people read it, but I was like, it's good. I feel like it's wonderful. I've done a lot of rewrites and everything. And I was like, I might have something. I might like be the Black DC because I'm a DC girl, so not Marvel.
As you should be.
As you should.
Yes.
Oh my God, my kids are DC and I just feel so like filled with pride.
You should be. That's good kids. Good kids. Yeah. It's like, and here's the thing. When I break it down to people like this, because they're always like, people are always trying to like to downplay DC to big up Marvel. And I say, hey, listen, it's okay if you like Marvel, but when you're a DC fan, you're a little bit more intelligent, intellectual. And this is why a lot of Marvel characters are scientists. Like their characters deal with science and these chemicals and explosions. Whereas DC stands for Detective Comics. Everything is a mystery. We're getting to the bottom of things by finding clues and trying to find a bad guy that way and getting to the end of his plan. Those are two completely different dynamics. So you're over here and your kids, me, you, was like, these are great stories. And Marvel is entertaining, but it's like, I don't feel like I've accomplished anything after I've read or watched anything.
Like, something spilled on you, and now you have powers.
And now you got powers. It's like, okay.
I have a friend who does movies for Marvel. That he works for Publix, and he does lots of background work. Like he's like a big character in Guardians of the Galaxy, one of the like big background characters.
Nice. And
he was like, I think the difference between Marvel and DC, if you like Marvel, you believe in aliens. If you like DC, you believe in God. And I was like,
that's hilarious.
That's funny. Well, DC does put a lot more emphasis on gods than Marvel does, but Marvel, they focus on here's what's weird about Marvel. They focus a lot about Roman and Greek gods than they do this is interesting. Y'all merge those. Okay.
Right. The Romans
like
and
those
Greek.
don't go together though.
But hey,
It worked for
They
them.
found a way, and I'm like, hey, whatever y'all, okay, cool. Like Love and Thunder was so bad. I was like, oh my god,
It was awful. Oh my gosh. I watched it because Zoe was like, oh, we have to watch this new. I was like, okay.
Oh, we was all in that theater, but afterwards we felt something else. Like,
I was like,
sheesh.
this is such a like. It seems like a parody of a comic. I was like, this is crazy. Is this what their comic is? Is this what the comic book is?
And that character, so Jane is. There are a lot of different versions of Jane. This was my main gripe about the movie. Well, one, it felt like the inmates ran the asylum, as far as like the actors being able to be like, hey, let's do this and let's do that. And the director was like, all right, let's do it. But my main complaint was, in real life, we all have family members and friends or know someone who's dealt with some form of cancer. And when you go to a comic book film, you go to escape. And there were other versions of Jane's story that they could have done for that to not be the choice for that film.
Right.
And the whole movie, it was just like, it was a roller coaster of emotions. And you just were like, none of this is landing.
It was so much happening.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm in the mind of a schizophrenic person. And this is like pleasant, but it's dangerous.
Yes. I was like, what is this, man? But now,
dangerous.
oh, have y'all watched Suits yet?
Yeah.
Suits? Like the show?
Monty, you seen it? Andrea, you gotta watch Suits. It's on. Go to Netflix.
You
and
have to
start
watch
from
it,
season
I think.
1. It's
the old show that was on not
USA.
Disney, USA.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I watched it when it was out. I was waiting for
Oh.
those seasons to come out. Like, come on, when is the next thing happening?
It's
Yes.
so good. I had never
So
watched
good.
it, and I was like, let me see. I was in between shows. Let me see what.
Mhm.
And I started watching it, and I was hooked. I got my mama watching it. She's talking to
You
me.
should watch Hijack on Apple TV with Idris
Project?
Elba.
What is it
Hijack.
about? Oh, Hijack. Oh, sounds like a heist.
Tis. It is so. It's so good.
Heist.
It's so good because it's not like most movies where you're like, oh, this good guy isn't gonna this and da 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 da, and you're like, ha, that's realistic. That's what happened for real.
Hijack on Apple TV.
Yep.
All right. So I will start that because so I got 5 more episodes to watch from on Amazon, and
Right.
then I gotta watch 5 more episodes of From. We're gonna finish the Jamie Foxx movie that apparently I shouldn't even be saying titles of shows. I'm sorry. All right, so I'm gonna watch.
Oh my God, you're not okay.
Just realize it's so second nature. Hopefully the union ain't tripping, but I'm gonna finish watching the show that I'm watching. I got 5 more episodes of that, and then we're gonna finish the Jamie Foxx movie that we're watching.
Okay.
Then I gotta finish the last episode of the Samuel L. Jackson show that I'm watching from a very popular comic book, and then I'm going to start the Idris Elba joint that you just said.
Like, let me.
Yeah,
I know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
I know that one. I
want you to.
Be
So-
like, yeah, the Samuel L. one. Be like,
Yeah.
first of all, he and everything. I don't.
You know what I had a conversation about? I had the conversation with, and I'm gonna throw this on y'all. I had a conversation with a couple comedians this past weekend about Sam Jackson and Morgan Freeman. And I said, low key, on a lot of their movies, not all, as I was corrected, but a lot of their movies, they are interchangeable. You can see either one of them in the role. Like what was it? So Lean on Me, right? You could see Sam Jackson doing that role, and not only can you see him doing it, he did that role in Coach Carter, right? What's another one? You Can't See Snakes on a Plane. I'll give you, that's the Sam Jackson specific. But I also said I could see Morgan Freeman being Nick Fury, like from the beginning. But the problem is Morgan Freeman is about 11 years older than Sam Jackson. It's the only problem. But they are interchangeable in a lot of movies.
Yeah, they really are.
Okay.
I
I can still hear you from out there, but I was momming because please don't start. I'm in the middle of a podcast. Y'all can be
With
quiet right now.
Momming. Yeah.
This is what we do. They, our viewers know. Look, we're living life. We're momming as we're doing this. So stuff
Mom.
happens.
But yes, I feel like they are interchangeable in quite a bit of movies.
Yes. But it's like certain ones, like they were the one that they tried to question me on was Bruce Almighty. And they was like, can you see Sam Jackson playing God? I said yes,
Yeah.
but not the way Morgan Freeman did. That's the thing.
Played
Don't
it,
think
yeah.
they're gonna be the same,
Right.
but they're gonna bring something
Right.
different to it. But Sam Jackson just wouldn't be cursing. He would just be a whole lot more facial expressions and like that. That would be dope to see.
Yeah.
I would like that a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I could definitely have seen Sam Jackson as Joe.
Joe.
Clark.
Oh, Joe Clark. Yeah. What and I said this to Monty. He
Yeah.
did that as Coach Carter, though. So technically, those are both the
Oh,
same
my God.
movie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But you're right. Him being Joe Clark would have been crazy. I think that was like, I don't want to say that was his
Maybe
big break,
he'd have
but
been
I think
like,
it was.
"You smoke crack, mother." That's his famous line.
Oh my goodness.
I always wonder what happened to that kid, that the one who was in the bathroom that he was talking to, because he went on to do How to Be a Player. He was on a Wayans Brothers show. It's like, where is this guy?
Where is he? Yeah.
Oh no.
You got to do it. Where are they now? For
You
him?
gotta do where they now, because I have not run into that dude, and I've run into everybody from a '90s classic, and I've never met that dude.
Man, he was like a pinnacle. He was
everywhere.
Yeah, he was a good portion in that movie too. Like he has a staple to me in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
He was in everything. He was even in Juice.
Yeah, he was like the principal sidekick.
Yes. It's like, where is this guy? How do you just fall
First
off the
I
map?
had my kids watch that. Not my kids, just Zoe. Because in my head, and I think I did a reel about this on Instagram. I think that we like block out a lot of our childhood trauma and how traumatic Lean on Me was.
Woo!
So me and Zoe started watching it, and at the beginning of the movie, when they're like wilding out, they snatch the girl's shirt off, and a fight breaks out in the cafeteria. The principal who's there is trying to break it up, and they are bashing his head. And did you know that? Goes out on a stretcher with blood everywhere. Zoe's crying.
Mhm.
She was like, "This is an awful movie. You said it was so good."
Oh yes, Andrea has the sensitive babies.
Well, think about it,
Mine
though.
probably would have been laughing, but hers be crying. Listen, seriously.
But I was like, keep watching it, it'll get good. Then she started to love it, and she loves the movie.
But now the kids now, the sensitivity is different, because when we were kids, they didn't care about how we felt about things. They thought this was acceptable to show the kids. So we were desensitized to a lot of stuff. These kids aren't desensitized.
Right.
So when they see something like that, they're like, oh my God. And you're like, what's wrong? Oh, yeah.
What happened?
You should as a child. It's like nobody's seeing someone's head get bashed in every day. This is not okay.
It's not okay.
Oh my gosh.
The ripping of the shirt was crazy for me. I was like, man, you just out here like
you can't say certain things. Yeah. That oof.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Quite a movie.
But the times was different then too. So I feel like times were different then.
They were.
Because I remember there was a time when we were younger where it was all about fashion and clothes and shoes, and kids would, take, like, people would steal other people's stuff. I'm like, who the hell is taking somebody's shoes? But nowadays, that's not even a thing. Like, you don't really hear like somebody took your shoes or stole your jacket. Like, I don't really hear.
And
so
you know what I think a lot of it is, and a lot of here, public schools have gone to uniforms. So you're not wearing your things to school for somebody to take them from you. And that was a lot of the reasons they did do it.
But you still wear the same tennis shoes. Like, you still have to wear, Jordan. Like, that's how people still make fun. That's how the kids still make fun of the other ones. Like, you got on these little dumb sneaks, and I got on Jordans or whatever. So it's just.
Yeah. So it's like in the public schools, they have no identity because they still have to wear those uniform shoes. You have to wear black shoes or those like white shoes. Black shoes or white tennis shoes. Nobody's been wearing no black.
They did that in the beginning out here where we live, but now it's just like they have to wear khaki pants and maybe a school shirt. Other than that,
They can
That's
wear
for the
whatever shoes they want.
uniforms. It's not like they're not very strict on it,
Mm.
is what I'm saying.
We
So
had
kids will be
uniforms in
going
high
and getting
school.
Dickies, and they wearing Dickies to school. So it's not, you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? It's not like they're really strict on really what it is. As long as it's the color, they don't care.
Our kids can wear anything to school. Because my kids don't go to city schools. We go to Hoover schools, and they can wear what they want. But most kids opt to wear like leggings and a t-shirt, but everybody wants nice shoes. So
Mhm.
Leggings and a t-shirt.
leggings and a t-shirt. And
My daughter
nice
didn't.
shoes. So I
She
just
didn't.
got all them so many shoes
Yeah.
yesterday. I was talking to Money
Oh,
about it.
yeah.
I got 7 pair of shoes yesterday. Everybody got some Nike. Collins doesn't like Nikes. Collins got these fire Adidas. He loves them. He got 2 pair. Zoe
Mhm.
got 4 pair. Austin got 1, and then I ordered 1. They have all the shoes. I mean, the colors on these shoes. I showed Money. These were
Mhm.
like
Beautiful.
nice shoes. Yeah. Like
My
Austin got
daughter
these-
didn't have to start wearing. She wore uniforms her entire school life. Let's be
Mhm.
clear. Until she got to high school,
Mm.
and she picked her own because you have to fill out for high schools and apply to them.
Mm.
So
Didn't know
she
that.
picked this high school just because they didn't have to wear uniforms. It was like, I don't care about anything else. Just they don't have to wear uniforms. This is where I'm going. And I was
She's
just
like,
like,
I
I
don't
don't
care
know
what
if that
they're
was a good
rated.
choice. Right. And I was like, well, I don't care what. I was like, this is where you want to go. That's fine. So she's been in her heaven because she is a fashion icon, I guess. She has to look a certain way. She has to. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good with the uniforms. Like my son, throw these little uniforms on, honey, because I'm not doing all of that trying to figure out what you wearing, picking out this, picking out that, looking for this. Boy,
You know
put that
what's
uniform
funny?
on.
You're still, because I did the uniform thing in junior high school. You're still picking out different, like, all right. So in junior high school, my mother got me, and this is why I respect y'all so much as being mothers and getting these school clothes, and you got the kids all these different pairs of shoes. My mom, I had 3 white shirts, 3 white uniform shirts, and as you know, there are 5 days in a week, and these uniform shirts were not the same shirt. So I had 2 white polo shirts with the cotton material, and I had 1 like a tuxedo shirt. And you're not wearing a tuxedo shirt. So I had to wash that fucking white polo every other day. And I tried my best not to sweat in it because it was like, I didn't want to bother my mom because I saw how hard my mom was working. And if she knew that I was just reusing the same 2 shirts, then she would be pissed. So I was like, I want more shirts. So I had to wait until it got like warmer, because then we would re-up like every 6 months. So once that 6 month came and she was like, all right, let's get some more shirts, I was like, yes, let's get some more shirts.
You're
But
like, yes.
you're always choosing the outfit to put together, even when you're wearing uniforms. So it's a struggle. Different pants, but damn
different
them
pants, but them shirts, the white shirts too.
it's always white, and that's the worst for kids who are going through puberty, because I don't know how long it took y'all to find the perfect deodorant for yourself, but when you're going through puberty as a boy, and I'm a sweater, especially back then, I had to find my balance to keep me warm and dry.
That's the difference, because you're a sweater. I have 2 different. My son is more like me. We're not very sweaty. So we can use any kind of deodorant or whatever. My daughter, on the other hand, it's so weird because you would want your boy to be the one that is sweaty and smelly, but it's my daughter. And it's nothing that I can even do about it. But now I got it down to a science. I know she's about to be 18, but this is how it goes.
Yeah.
In the summertime, you can't wear no deodorant but Mitchum because it's hot. You're sweating. Mitchum is the highest one.
I was about to tell you about
Mitchum is the highest one.
That's the one.
Now, I told her fall, spring, you can do Degree because it's getting a little cooler outside. Degree hold you. And then in this winter, you got your Dove. You can wear Dove because that'll hold it lighter, and it'll hold you because it's cold. You ain't sweating too much. That's what I got it down to a science with her, because I'm like, I don't want you being out here slipping. You understand?
Thank God for Mitchum. I discovered Mitchum at 14. So 12 is when the bullshit started. You understand me? I was out here like I had Brute, and also the scents You gotta find these bullshit ass scents to fit your body. And they would be
That's
like
true.
water walking home. And I was like, I gotta find something. And I came home one day and my mom was like, try this. It was like a commercial. Try this. I was like,
You'll
what's
stay
that, bro?
fresh for
It's
24
Mitchum.
hours.
24 hours. So effective. You can skip a day. I say, what? Not that I'm gonna skip a day, but I'm like, it's
Yeah.
that strong.
They're like 48-hour protection. You're like, what?
So first I was on the regular Mitchum. I was on the male Mitchum.
Mhm.
And then she also bought herself some Mitchum. She had powder fresh, and it was the gel kind. And I was like, let me try this one day. Even though it's a woman's deodorant, they don't sell the powder fresh scent for men. And
don't.
her joint was better than the Mitchum is the only company where they make women deodorant better than male deodorant.
But
Okay.
Remember that.
But yeah, because a lot of men wear women deodorant. It's so
I didn't
weird.
even know that.
Yes, a lot of men wear
a
women
lot of
deodorant.
girls wear men's deodorant. Did you
Really?
I almost I had to start putting that speed stick and all of that for my daughter when I was trying to get to the promised land because she was so strong. I'm like, you might have to switch up, honey, and try something
when
else.
I worked at the private school, all the girls had men's degree, and I was like, "What in the world?" I was like, "Is this a thing?" And they were like, "Yeah."
Powder fresh is the only kind I would use. So.
I love powder fresh because it's like,
That's the only kind.
I'll put it like this. I had the powder fresh. Not only was it quicker drying, it was stronger, lasted longer, but the scent was just better than like a lot of these male deodorants. I feel like they adding cologne to it or something. It's a cologne that I would never wear, and it's just like
too strong.
too strong. Ain't no woman about to come up to you and hug you, telling you smell good with that.
Never.
The only male deodorant that I thought was pretty good was Gillette or whatever.
Gillette.
And it's like a Gillette, and it's like a gel one, and they have this one. I can't
Gillette.
remember the scent. That thing was it smells so nice on a man. That's just
Listen,
Wow.
I used to memorize all the commercials. I was like, Gillette, the best a man can get.
The best a man can get.
the best a man can get. I ever did.
The best a man can get. I know all those jingles, yo. By Menon, all of but Gillette used to have this commercial because they did the shaving joint and the deodorant around Christmas time. Oh, the Mach 3. I couldn't wait to get a Mach 3 because I was like, oh, it's got 3 blades. It's gonna keep the hair off even longer. This is fun, man. Thank y'all for having
This
me.
is definitely fun. I mean, we've been
great.
on a little longer, but hey, it's CT, guys.
It's a good time.
We are longer, but yet CT is so engaging. It's like,
Thank
how
you.
long have we been on this podcast today?
We don't know.
Taking
It's like
up
talking to an
time.
old friend. We just
I haven't talked to y'all in a minute. This is the best.
Sure.
Oh my goodness. So this is wonderful. And thank you for dropping by and spending time with us at You Better Fact Check because I had wine first. Please come back anytime to talk about anything. Talk
Yes.
about, whenever you win, whatever you win for this writer's strike. I mean, being able to maintain your likeness and not be used as an AI and not get paid for it.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
It is
insane that multimillionaires are like, nah, we don't want to really pay you guys. I think it's $1 million.
To say the thing that stuck out to me was because as we have actors that are on screen, we also have background actors, and there are people who make their living being background actors. I did it twice when I moved to LA, and they treat you already like you're less than when you're a background actor. But to add insult to injury, they want to pay you a half of a day rate, which to give you they bumped it up to, I guess, $100 or maybe $200 by now. But when I was doing extra work, it was $60 a day. So picture at that time them wanting to pay you half of that $60. So they want to pay you $30 for the day, and they want to be able to use your image forever.
Yes.
Only having paid you $30.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Crazy.
Wow.
It's like, yeah, you can use my image forever if you pay me like I showed up that day.
That's not even pennies on a dollar.
It's not even pennies on a dollar. I can see if they were like, yo, we want to have background actors on this production and we want to use them for the rest of their life. But we're going to give them a percentage of this film moving forward for the rest of their life. But for them to pay them $30
and say no
maybe
more.
if you got a lot of extras, it's $1,000. You've just spent $1,000 to own these people's images forever. That's crazy.
That's awful.
It is.
I don't realize how they don't see that they're trash humans for asking that at all. Because I was looking at the negotiation, I was reading it on different people's pages who posted. I was like, they don't want to give them that. Like, this is rejected. It's a crazy word to hear when I'm just saying,
right.
I want my likeness.
Rejected.
I don't want you to use me without me being there and getting paid for it. And they're like,
rejected.
Weak. I was like, okay.
Can you imagine let's say you're dating somebody and you say, hey, can you just send me a good morning or a good afternoon text? And they say rejected. And you're like, what? Rejected.
Oh my gosh. It's like, I didn't ask for anything outside of the realm of what you should be doing anyway.
Right.
Why are you saying no? Just can't.
When somebody say rejected, they're saying they're not even open to the possibility of discussing this further. That's what blew my mind. I said, God damn.
Rejected?
They like reject. No, I didn't finish my sentence. They like
no counter at all. Just rejected.
I was like, that's weird.
Can you just treat me with a little bit of respect as a human being? Rejected.
Nope. Rejected.
Rejected.
So I'm gonna start saying that to people now when they ask me anything. Rejected.
Rejected. They can't say nothing else. It's nothing. I have nothing for you.
I'm gonna start saying that to my kids.
To say flat out no. Like, what is my next negotiating point? You said
What
no.
is it?
There is none.
I'm done. Ma, can you cook for us tonight? Rejected.
Rejected.
What am I gonna do? Figure it out.
Figure it out. That's what I'm telling my
doing
kids.
They are gonna figure it out. Either they won't ever have movies with people in them, and we're gonna be watching a lot of Space Jam or whatever that dog movie.
It's gonna be a lot of
play basketball.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love you. I love you. With the blinking off. I don't know. I just had
You know what's
like
funny? That's gonna be, and here's why I hope the writers and the actors win, because the technology that they're trying to hold off on for will not be perfected for at least 7 years. So if they trying to do it right now, they're going to lose so much money, and they might not even be able to make the stretch for when it is prepared to be ready. So it's good that they've stood their ground now, as opposed to waiting.
Yes. So because they're thinking towards the future of like when all of this comes to fruition and you actually have AI who only have 10 fingers, because this AI art is wild. And I've been watching this since last year with all the like stealing of artists' work through AI. They're having to create apps that cloak it so that you can't steal their style to do all this fake art. And I've been watching that since last year, and people suing these different app companies. And I was like, that's crazy and they get so much like credit for doing art on YouTube, not YouTube, on Instagram, and they're selling prints and everything from someone else's artwork. All you did was key in a code into this app, and you created something and you're selling it because you stole someone else's artwork. Yeah,
that's the part. Selling, and the person that actually created it is not getting no money.
None.
That's what those are trying to do to y'all. They're like, we're about to have this AI concept for every single solitary movie, show, sitcom, anything that you can think of, and we just need your face. But not to pay you. Are you crazy?
They're gonna pay you $30 for forever.
And that's the thing. They just want that one-time payment. That's why for you to have the way that it is if they gave into every one of the demands by the writers, every one of the demands by the actors, it would not affect their bottom line whatsoever. It's greed. And beyond that, there's a smaller studio, independent, A24. A24 does a lot of these artsy films and everything, and lower budget. Like if you like scary movies, there's a company called Blumhouse, and they invented the model of doing lower budget, high quality films to make
Blumhouse
crazy numbers. Like Blumhouse would do a movie for let's say $1 million.
Mhm.
They do it for $1 million, and that's their whole budget. They're gonna make 10 or 20 million, which is already they're in a profit. You know what I mean? They're in the black. But when you
Mhm.
look at a movie company like Warner Brothers, and they're like, no, we're not giving in. A24 gave in to
Mm.
every one of the requests. So
Mm.
now they have been the first studio to be like, all right, yeah, we're gonna give in. So if that continues to happen, we're in a good stance. But the longer they hold out, I really hope nobody loses their livelihood, because they were
Yeah.
saying they wanted to wait the writers out until they lost their homes. That's some wicked shit to say, man.
That's awful.
Wow.
To like
Cold.
lose my house.
That's crazy.
Oof.
That is just like,
Crazy.
I feel like you just have no
Because they
compassion for
already don't
people.
make anything. Like I was before you came on, I was running down a few stats because this is You Better Fact Check, and like they make like what regular people make for their intellectual property, for their heart and soul of something. They make
Yeah.
what
Mhm.
people make working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
McDonald's.
And
Is that
people
what I'm
think it's
saying?
like, when you look at the business, I know I used to look at it like that. I thought when you got on TV, you were
A
set.
millionaire.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, they got millions. It's like these people do not have that. And I saw a residual check from one of the actors on P Valley. And P Valley,
$3.11.
ooh, and this is a new show. Like this show came
Yeah.
on for the first time, I want to say in 2018 or 19.
Right before the pandemic.
And for it to be that's, first of all, just so you know, that residual is crazy, because that woman is a series regular.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
That residual, it would make sense if that residual was like that and the show came on a decade plus ago.
Yeah.
Before it to
Right.
not even be 10 years. And for her to get $3, I did a show, a couple of my residuals have come in from a show that I did in 2017, and I'm down to 60 cents. And when they say 60 cents, that's the number that you're quoted. So when you look at the check might say 15 cents, and you're like, how the fuck? Why would y'all even send this to me, bro?
Stop
Why
using
would you
them papers.
even?
You're killing trees.
You killing trees, Paul, and it's like 3 pages of information.
You killing trees for nothing. For 15 cents.
15 cents. So it's acting. The very few who get a chance to make a living off of it are very fortunate, but the people that are living gig to gig,
Yeah.
and they got to go get a job or they got to do other stuff for money, is really unfortunate. And it's a greedy business, man. We already knew it was evil,
Yeah.
but now the public is getting a chance to see how evil it really is.
Yeah. Because in regular jobs, real people, it's not like y'all aren't real people, but we're like, how is this not an easy get?
Mhm.
You're like, oh, you need this from us? You're in these movies. Nobody would know who I was, and still don't know who you are, because of you. Like, I'm making money because you are taking of your time, your body. Like, people go through, method actors go through it
Mhm.
to do a role.
Yeah.
People who are classically trained in theater and in music and the arts, they have put a lot into their craft, and you don't want to pay them for that
Don't want to pay them.
just because you had the initial money to push it forward. You're crazy.
That's the evil part of it. It's like people who have jobs get paid every other week, which is great. You can set your life by the money you're going to get when you have your job. Actors have never been that for anybody in entertainment. They always tell us, yo, save this part of your money because you're not going to always be working. And that's real. Like, before we got this house, I remember being in the apartment, and every time I got paid, I was like, all right, let me set this to the side, because you just don't know when something is going to happen. So it's like, it's always smart to set something to the side if you can. And even if you can't, let's say your check is $10, you get a check for $10. You gotta set $2 to the side just for your own peace of mind. It's the only thing that's gonna make sense.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much.
Mm.
You are a
Thank
wealth
you.
of knowledge, and this is
Yes.
great. We support the strike, but they did say for us to continue streaming things. So
Yeah, we
I'm
can
still
stream.
watching. I'm still watching all the shows. I'm
Gotta watch
all
the shows.
everything right now.
Gotta watch them.
Yeah,
Just can't say the name, but you gotta watch the shows.
Can't say the
Gotta
name
watch
of
the show.
anything, but we're watching all the TV.
All the-
all the TV, all that we watching.
all the sitcoms, all the new ones, the old ones, the movies, the good, the bad, the ugly.
That's
We'll
all
fill
we
that
got.
out.
We can't watch nothing new. We gotta enjoy. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna say pace yourselves because
Yeah,
ain't nothing
we didn't
new
watch.
gonna
We
drop
didn't
next year.
finish, and that's it.
Ooh, that's it. TV gonna be done. You finished TV? Woo.
You finished TV?
I
Is this
finished
like
TV.
at night when TV used to finish and then the national anthem would play and the TV be gone?
TV be
And now
gone.
go to sleep.
Finished. They gotta go to sleep now. This fuzz.
11 o'clock, go to sleep.
This
Maybe that's what they need to go back to because we finna finish TV.
we finna finish TV.
Oh my God, we're gonna finish TV.
That's crazy, man.
Ain't
Thank
nothing
you.
new coming out next year. But
Oh my
thank y'all for
gosh.
having me, man.
But what is Zoe? See, Andre got kids and they got auditions. What they auditioning for? If ain't no new stuff coming.
They're auditioning for a superhero movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that.
It
Look,
literally
superheroes,
says
they
a
ain't gonna let them
superhero
down. They
movie.
still
It's in Atlanta, so it's probably something like Meteor Man or what?
That'd be dope. Could you imagine
Meteor
a sequel?
this is gonna be an AI hero story. Stop. Like
So
let's
I'm really excited that they're auditioning. They're all three gonna audition.
Nice.
Because they have
that's so
spots
good.
available for kids. I'm not gonna audition because I want to stay like fresh faced for my event that's later that day. So we're gonna be in Atlanta for most of the day on Saturday.
How long of a drive is that from Alabama to Atlanta?
2 hours.
2 hours?
Mhm.
Oh, that's not
Not
bad.
bad.
Wait, what city are y'all in Alabama?
Hoover. Birmingham.
Hoover, Alabama,
Oh.
right where that damn girl Carly was lying. Her.
Oh, no, stop. Right up the street. Right up the
Right,
Yeah.
with that damn girl Carly.
That
was
lying ass
lying.
Carly.
Carly
Don't go
Russell.
missing Andre because they ain't gonna look for you because Carly didn't mess that up.
Carly
Yeah.
done messed it up.
That's already said. I can't go missing. I can't be late for nothing because
Nothing. Please don't.
she'll be back
Please
next week.
don't. They be like, oh no, she's fine. I be like, she won't do this. They be like, no, we're not having another incident. So we'll wait.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So it's a short drive, very exciting. This is for the Atlanta Black Film Festival, which I'm going to in October.
Dope.
But how does that affect anything? Like, are they still allowed to do that? Because nobody said it's canceled.
Well, if this is the Atlanta Black Film Festival, as long as this isn't okay, this is the way to know it. If the movies aren't like if these are independent films
Mm-hmm.
outside of the union,
Okay.
then they can promote it.
Mhm.
But
They're not films who've been put out yet because it's a festival, so they're competing. Can they get? Is that fine? Right.
well, yeah, if any of the actors that are in this aren't in the union, they're good no matter what. But
Okay.
if they are in the union, then they can't promote it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a very interesting time that we're in. There's,
So should we still go? Is
It's
it?
no,
October.
y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go see what it is.
Okay.
Plus, you got the plans already, but
And we got a network.
gotta know what meet the people. So y'all gonna be in
Gotta meet
Atlanta in October, and when are y'all gonna be in LA?
We were
Crickets. See this
supposed
shit,
to try
man?
it because
So listen.
we were supposed to try to do LA in September, but like I said, my son had surgery, so a lot of things are getting pushed back. And then this
Understandable.
festival was already happening in October. So it was like, all right, we'll just try to link up in October at the festival, and then we'll figure out when we're going to LA at another time.
Because I just was looking at the time off request and I got approved for the end of August. Remember, we were going to do it then.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But then your son has to have surgery. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I need to take this request off because I don't need this whole weekend off because we're not going.
Mhm.
So I have to take that
Yeah.
out. It's like a 5-day block where I decided to take vacation time. Now I can't because money is not available.
I get it. I
Love
get
the baby. But we're
But we're
definitely
coming.
going to make it out there. But we wanted
So
to
it's
be
either gonna
at a.
be-
I'm sorry. Go ahead,
I
Andrea.
thought we were going to do either November
Mhm.
or in January. Because
Mm.
remember, my birthday's coming up. So we're birthday.
Yeah,
And what day is
Andrea's
your birthday
birthday.
again?
January 2nd.
Second.
Oh shit! My sister's birthday is January 10th. I won't forget January 2nd. That is a great. Remember, you are a New Year baby.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I'm a New Year baby.
Damn, how
New
about
Year,
that?
New Me. That's probably what
That's-
my mom was saying. New year, new you.
I
No,
have
your
to
mom was
go.
like, New Year, here, come get this baby. I got to
Come
go
get
now.
I gotta go, but I'm grateful to come in here, and this was fun, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you.
This
I
was
appreciate it.
amazing.
We see you next time, many times after this, talking
Yeah.
about your new shows and new movies and everything.
That'd
And
be
you have
dope.
a hate evening, okay?
You too. All right,
Tell
y'all.
the people, wait first before you go.
Yeah,
You got to
talk
tell
to
them
me.
where they can
We
reach
can't
you
tell
and
them
what
Oh,
you're
I'm sorry.
doing and stuff like that.
Okay, cool.
No,
So,
you can't tell them anything.
So I will say the thing that I will say, which is go to the Patreon/CT is dope and catch the inaugural episodes of Flower Sessions. It will be up today. Yes, today. And check that out. And I am very grateful and appreciative. And this was great catching up with y'all.
Thank you so
You
much.
too. Thank
Have
you
a
for
great day,
coming.
dear.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Such an
Great.
amazing guest, guys. I mean,
Great, right?
we
I-
stayed longer than we thought,
Oh my
or what we,
God.
but
15
it was
months.
CT. The conversation led us to everything. We talked a little bit about everything.
We did all of the gambits of entertainment today. Got a little sidetracked by your children and then my children, and
of course,
CT's so professional.
he's
This is great.
perfect.
Just remember
Like,
to continue to support the actors and the writers by continuing to watch their shows. Watch all of their shows. Watch all the
TV.
Pace yourself because there's going to be no more TV. So we'll just be watching reruns forever. Thank everybody.
I hate reruns, guys. Please let this strike be over soon.
I love reruns.
I hate it. Because I already know what's going to happen. I'm like, oh, this is where they do this. Okay. It's like,
remember I Am Legend with Willard Smith?
I do remember that. Yeah.
And he's sitting there and he's saying all the lines to the movie because he's memorized everything because
yes.
of TV and he's watching old news and blah, 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 blah. I want to be that person, but I also don't want there to be a really long writer/actor strike.
I'm already that person. Like, I could watch a movie and then the next time I watch it, I know the lines. I'm like, how? I don't even know. I only watched this once. That's all I am. So it's like I'm already that person.
So we are gonna wrap this up because we've had such a great time and we've spent hours on the interwebs. Thank you everybody for watching. Please watch again, comment and post, like, subscribe, share it. And we thank you so much. Money Tone,
thank you for tuning in to You Better Fact Check because I have one first.
Bye.
And we're still rolling.